I with you. I with you. What the fuck is wrong
I with
me?
you.
I'm fucking stupid.
Fuck.
So what? No. So no more guns. This is me kind of, or this is him kind of saying, dude, what is wrong with me? Oh my god.
So you're writing these songs now. Tell me, what were you thinking when you wrote this song?
This is so bad.
Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we take a different album from a different band or artist and we break it down. We do all the research we could possibly do. We find out all the secrets about these records and we let everyone else know. We let everyone in on the secret. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, way out there, is Jeff. Go to Apple Podcasts, go rate, review, and subscribe to us on there while you're listening. Please give us a 5-star rating on there. That would mean the most to us. Please do that. Reach out to us on the social medias. At Asinine Radio is our handle. You could also call us, leave us a voicemail, send us a text message. We might, take a suggestion if you want to hear something. The phone number is 503-893-5307. We also have a Discord server. If you want to join that, let us know. We'll send you the link. It's all over our socials too, so get into that. And that's it for the boring intro.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, what are we doing today?
We are doing Angels and Airwaves and their album Lifeforms.
Now, Jeff, what's your origin story with Angels and Airwaves? Like most people don't already know. What do you got? Go. Hello?
Oh, yeah, there's my volume knob. There it is.
Doing this for 5 years.
What an idiot. And it's funny because I was actually calling you out on a mistake that you were making, but then I also made a mistake. So I don't know if
what was the mistake I was making?
I don't even know if I feel comfortable like calling you out on your mistake now.
What was the mistake?
I think that you said that they have 5 full-length albums out.
I said 6.
I know that's what you wrote, but I think that you said 5.
I'm pretty positive I said 6.
I am pretty positive you said 5, and then when you said this is their 6, I was like, okay, well, you just said 5, so I pushed my glasses up with my middle finger, like that, and then also put my volume knob down. But I mean, it's all
Potting
irrelevant at this point because my volume was down, and all of my points now mean nothing. So my first impressions of this, I don't know. I don't remember how. I don't remember if it was you or if it was me. I just remember at some point we were heavily invested into Angels and Airwaves, and even so much that we went to their first show. And then we went to their second surprise pop-up show the fucking day after. We went to Pomona and we went to Chain Reaction. And it's the same fucking show. But we were there for both of them. And the Chain Reaction one was way more intimate, as we had talked about off the pod. The place holds 250 people. Yeah. So we saw Angels and Airwaves at a pop-up show when nobody really knew who they were, what was going on, at a venue that holds 250 people. And that was in our phase where we liked flipping off the band, and Tom DeLonge thought it was funny, and we flipped Tom DeLonge off the entire time. Being we were never like front row people. We were always like 3 deep, because 3 deep you're still getting the front row vibe, but then you're also in immediate access of the pit. If I want to jump in the pit, I'm gonna go in the pit. If I don't want to be in the pit, I can still be in the front row. So I think like 3 deep is like the perfect place to be at a show. That's where we were. And our hands were fully extended, middle fingers up. And I'll never forget, like every band that we've ever done this to has always been butthurt by it. Except for Tom. Like, he thought it was fucking hilarious. And like, he kept looking back at us and he thought it was so fucking funny. And I I don't know. That's always stood out to me as just being like, dude, you've not changed. Like your music has changed, but you as a person has not changed. I think that is what draws us to Tom, is what draws us to Angels and Airwaves. Is even though the music has changed, Tom has not changed, and there's still what we love about Tom in Angels and Airwaves, and even still today, he's still grown up, and he likes different things, and his lyrics are vastly different than the Blink era of lyrics and Buddha. But he's still the same type of person. He's grown up a little bit, but he's still the same person. His heart's still there. His heart's not all gone. Okay? It's not.
Okay.
Dude, that was on a whim. That was on a whim. I threw that out
quite
so
the
quick.
reference. Quite the reference, yeah.
So my first impressions, I don't know when it came to pass, but I do remember being there in the beginning stages, and I'm happy that we were. I really am. Those are some of the fucking coolest shows I've ever been to.
This was, obviously our origin story is the same because following Blink is so much, like we were just following them so intently at the time. And even now to this day, we still follow them so much.
It's gross. I know.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. But at this point in time, it was like, who's going to release the song first? Is it going to be Mark or is it going to be Tom?
Yeah.
Mark released the song first, or the song leaked first. No, it isn't leaked. So we obviously love that song, and we were just waiting for Tom to do his rebuttal, and the rebuttal was The Adventure. It leaked early. It leaked on, I found it on some torrent site, way back when, and then at that point I had burned it onto a CD because that's what we were doing. We were still burning some CDs, and I remember I told you. This is when I worked at Tower Records. I said, meet me at the Tower Records parking lot at this time so we could listen to the new Angels and Airwaves record, or the new song, The Adventure. And you met me on my lunch at Tower Records, and we sat in the parking lot in my car, and we listened to the song probably like 4 or 5 times. And we were just like blown away by it. Could not believe it.
I remember this now.
You do remember that?
It's so fucking pathetic. It's so pathetic. Like, that's so dumb. Like, I don't know, dude. Any kind of person in this day and age will just not have any idea what that will be like. And it's just...
They just don't understand, man. It was a different time.
God, there was so much writing on this song.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, that was our origin story. And then, by the time we saw them at the Glass House and Chain Reaction the next day, or 2 days later, I don't remember. But when we saw them, they had already... So The Adventure had leaked, obviously. And then I think Distraction had leaked. And then The War and Valkyrie Missile had leaked. So by the time we saw them, we already knew 4 songs because we listened to those 4 songs religiously. We knew them front to back at that point. So when we were there, I just remember hearing those songs for the first time live was just... It was unreal, man. It was just unreal, those 2 shows, and I'm just being obsessed with that record when it came out, and we saw them several times over the years. Or, yeah, you and I saw them a couple times after that.
Just with Taking Back Sunday, I think.
Yeah, when they opened with Taking Back Sunday, yeah. And then the other, because I saw them 4 times after that, and those were with Tammy, because I saw those 3 shows during the I Empire tour, and then I saw them once at Jimmy Kimmel. In like 2012, they played Jimmy Kimmel and they played like 5 songs, and then I saw those are the only times I've seen them. Oh, and then I saw them 2 years ago when in 2019, right before COVID hit. I saw them at House of Blues. But anyway, yeah, it's just so much nostalgia, especially with that first record. I fucking love it. So let's move on from our origin story. Let's get into Lifeforms. The new record came out just a few weeks ago. And I'm totally stoked we're getting into this right now. Let's before we kind of, should we do first impressions on the record, or should we start with any stinkers?
Bro. What do you want to do? Guide me.
I don't know. So let's not do first impressions. Let's just jump right into the record.
This is your band post Wooden Toe.
Post Wooden Toe, yes. So let's start with any stinkers. Do we have any stinkers off of Lifeforms?
No, not even close.
Agreed. I have 0 stinkers on this one. Let's just jump into our biggest banger, and then we'll just kind of obviously fill in the blanks here and there with any sort of extra thoughts. So what's your biggest banger off of Lifeforms? Go.
All right, so I will not answer your question by doing what I want. And Lifeforms, we had heard a lot of songs before Lifeforms came out. Rebel Girl, Euphoria, Kiss and Tell. Like, we've heard a lot of these songs before it came out. And I had held out because we bought the vinyl. We're into this new vinyl thing. I held out to listening to it in its entirety until I got my vinyl ready. Until I got it in the mail. And
yes,
I finally got it. And let me just say, like as far as vinyl pressings go, not only is the color just fantastic, like they did a killer job at pressing just a color variant of the vinyl. I think it looks great. I think the pressing sounds fantastic. But then they add the little foil to the outside, the jacket. It's all
cool.
inside of a foil. I've never seen that before, ever. And this is coming from a guy who has only collected for a little over a year now. But, I mean, we're talking 5,000 to 8,000 vinyl records have passed through these fingers. And I have never once seen anything like this. It is so fucking cool. It is so cool. It's so spacey. It's so NASA looking. It's so amazing. I absolutely just love it. And so all that aside, the first time I listened to this album through and through was on vinyl. And I think that's why. So this is the second week in a row where my favorite track has been the opening track. And I think that's like, this may be a pattern. This may be a pattern of me liking like the opening track because I'm listening to it first on vinyl. So Time Bomb is my favorite, right? It's my 1B, my biggest banger.
All right. Awesome.
Biggest banger.
So we'll get into that. I guess we should have done first impressions first on this one.
I just did it.
That
you
was my ball.
I just did it. Use your ball.
I know. I know. But you're like, guide me. And then I tried to, and you're like,
I know.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
I thought you were going to go there, and then I said, guide me, and then you went the other way. So
yeah. So you fucked up.
Yeah.
More than me.
I fucked up. How did I fuck up? I complete opposite. I threw you a bone, and you fucking got hit in the face with it. You missed it.
I will say too, the record, the vinyl thing with the silver packaging, it just went so well in theme with what they were doing leading up to it, because we did talk about this on the pod a couple months ago, but a few months ago I had signed up for, I thought it was just like an email newsletter, an email list on the website.
I forgot about this.
And then like 2-3 weeks later, I get this package in the mail, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I didn't order anything, and it wasn't from Amazon. It wasn't a record. So I'm like, what the hell is this? I was actually kind of nervous. And then I looked at the label, and it said Rise Records, and I thought the only thing I've ordered from Rise was like AFI. I didn't even think about Angels and Airwaves. I just didn't know what the fuck it was. And then I opened it, and it was a tape recorder, and then it said Angels and Airwaves. It came with like this just a piece of paper with like a bunch of redacted stuff. Like, it would look like a classified document, and it was literally a tape player, a little cassette tape player, like a Walkman with little earbuds, and yeah, it was like just a hype thing that they had sent out to like the first 200 people who had signed up, I guess, for this email list. And on it was just like a short clip of Euphoria, the song Euphoria. I think it was Euphoria. And it was like a 10 or 15 second clip of that song, and then just like chatter between like Navy pilots or something like that, talking about like some sort of, UFO or something. It was something really weird like that, but it was just like as cheesy and dumb as it was such a cool way to like hype up fans and just kind of make you feel good. Like, I don't know. It was so bizarre. It was so dumb, but super cool at the same time. And I still have that tape recorder and everything. Cassette player.
I've never, I don't know. I've just never heard of anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's so beyond, I don't know, going like above and beyond. That's so beyond that even to send a fucking tape recorder. What is the fucking 90s? Like a tape recorder. Cool. What? Not even like a little, like a flash drive, dude. They could have bought flash drives for 10 cents, right? 20 cents and sent those out. But they sent like a tape recorder, and that's so cool. That's so cool. Rad.
It was cool too because like on the cassette player, it had like a piece of masking tape that they had put on it, and like I forgot what was written on it. I should have looked before we started the pod. But yeah, it was like they put like a piece of masking tape on every single cassette player and hand wrote whatever. I don't remember what it was, like case number or something. I don't remember.
Oh.
But it was super DIY, but it was so like I guess intimate would be the right word, or just something so personal. It was super cool. It was super cool. Stoked. And then I posted about it on my Instagram, and within like a minute I had like 7 people asking to buy it for like $100.
Fuck.
But I didn't do it. I kept it, but
that's one for the collection, baby.
It was like instantaneous. Like I got all these requests to buy it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, if it was like within the first 5 minutes and people want it for $100, it's worth $1,000.
It's something so dumb. But anyway, yeah. So it kind of goes in theme with the liner notes of the record, where everything is kind of like it's classified documents, but it's also but then it's redacted, and then that goes with like the foil that goes around it. I think it was a play on like the stuff that was found in Roswell in the 40s. You know, the tinfoil looking stuff that they had supposedly found at the crash site in Roswell. So I think it was a play on that, and just the whole theme and the whole idea behind this record was fun. It was fun. It was cool. So I really dug it. But with that being said, let's get into your biggest banger first, or should we talk about what we already played?
What did we play?
We played Kiss and Tell.
Oh, Kiss and Tell. Yeah, let's get Kiss and Tell out of the way.
Okay, so
because that's my 2B.
That's my 1B. Kiss and Tell is my 1B.
That's so good.
Kiss and Tell is a top 5. It's a top 5 Angel song, for sure. Top 5 Angel song. It's a perfect song.
Oh.
Right from the get go. You know, it's that synth buildup, and then once it like breaks into the main song, you get the woo. You hear Tom go woo, and it's so cheesy, man. It is so cheesy, but it gets me so pumped every time, without fail. It gets me so pumped. So. I love the song. I
100% agree. I think, dude, this song is set up like a Blink song. Tom's riffage is back. It's a very cool chorus that's got highs and lows. The lows could be Mark. Like the way it's all set up is just, it's very much like Tom getting back. And I think a lot of this album overall is getting back to the self-entitled era of Blink, and then also a little bit of the Neighborhood sound. So Tom is getting back again to basics. Kind of what I mentioned earlier in the rankings, Tom is going back to what he is really, really good at. And then you got the woes in the end. Like, come on, dude. Good times. Like, you cannot...
Or you mean in the choruses?
Yeah. Like, you cannot... I don't know. You can't beat Tom doing woes in perfect capacity like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's verse, like the verse melody is very similar to Taylor Swift. You're gonna hate me on this, but to Taylor Swift's song Blank Space.
I don't know that
the song Blank Space chorus melody.
Okay.
Is almost damn near identical to the verse melody of this, but overall the song is absolutely fantastic.
In the verses too, the way he hits the highs and the low, the da-na-na-na-na. Wait, no, how does he do it? He's like, he has a way of delivering the lines, and the melody and the verses are so weird. It's a little red cherry. It's like at the end of every line, he gets higher in his.
Yeah, that's the Taylor Swift thing.
Is it Taylor Swift? Okay.
So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
It's pretty fun. It's fucking similar. That's all right. That's fun.
And I just love singing the first 2 lines of the chorus when he goes, "It's a little bit scary," or no, wait, no, he doesn't say it that way. He says, "I know it's so scary." Like he draws out the scary, and then it's a bit of pain is the second line, and just the way he kind of draws out those 2 words of scary and pain. I love it. It's so much fun to sing. It's so cheesy and dumb, but I love it. And the what-ohs. It says on Genius Lyrics that they're saying no, but it's their woes.
No. Yeah. No, I don't know. Like the lyrics. I shouldn't even look because I have it on vinyl, but then I bought the autograph one and then I sold it to buy it. And then I bought 3 of these copies. I sold 2, and then I bought one that's not autographed. So I didn't see if there's a lyric sheet within that booklet.
There is. All the lyrics are in the booklet.
Oh,
yeah.
So
there's some really cool artwork in there too.
Honestly, I don't like the woman pose, like that
Why?
Michelangelo fucking
Yeah, what
Da
is it?
Vinci
It's
thing.
Like Vesuvius or no, the Venus or what is it fucking called?
I think it's like Da Vinci's painting of like the perfect man.
Yeah, but
It's
it has
based
a
off
name.
of that.
Yeah, it's based off of that, but it has a name. I'm trying to. Vitruvian Man. Vitruvian Man. That's what
Yeah, I don't fucking speak Spanish yet. I don't know what that is, so
I think it's Italian. It's Italian.
that's fine. I don't speak German. So yeah, that's based off of like Da Vinci's Perfect Man. I don't like that cover. I don't like that pose. I think it's ugly.
Really?
I don't like it. It's just weird looking. I think it's weird looking in a way that makes you think that the album itself is going to be like almost prog rock, like Mars Volta-esque, that type of weird. I get that weird uneasy feeling. I don't feel like it's beautiful enough because this album is presented in a sort of beautiful way. Like if you've ever watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind at the very end when he actually goes onto the spaceship, it's not like an aggressive meeting between the aliens and then the men. It's like a beautiful meeting, and I think that's what this album is. It's very, I don't know. It's very nice. It's very beautiful. It's very run of the mill. I guess I can't think of a better phrase to put it.
All right.
But that album cover makes me feel that it's gonna be like spiders and shit. I don't know, crawl inside of her. I don't like the album cover. Whatever. I don't like the album cover. I don't like it at all.
That's fair. I think it's a good cover for me. And when you look at all the artwork within the liner notes or the booklet, I guess whatever you want to call it, it kind of I don't know, it makes it seem like this girl is like being experimented on by the government, and it seems like something a little bit more nefarious and secretive and you know, and I feel like that kind of goes along with the theme of everything that led up to this record, with like the cassette player and the fucking silver thing it comes in, and I don't know, I dig it.
Yeah, I thought that also, but that girl's the same girl from the video. Not, I know it's not the same. It's not the same girl, but her little bowl cut from her bangs and the fact that her hair's on the side, and the girl from the video who has a bright blonde wig on, clearly because she got the dark eyebrows, and
it's not a blonde wig. It's all real, baby.
That's not come on, guy. I think that, like, man, dude, Tom DeLonge just conceptually on this album is just, he's lost. And to push a lot of societal issues forward, including like racism, including like toxic masculinity, and then feature in every one of his fucking videos like girls in their underwear, is just like, dude, come on, choose a fucking side. You're too old for this shit, dude. Get over it.
See, I feel like lyrically he only touches like on a political thing in one song, maybe 2 songs.
There's 3 songs that are very, very political. One song is just dumb. Like, one song was the closest I would come to a stinker, but it's nowhere near a stinker. But it would be the closest I would come to a stinker. But again, it's not a stinker.
Okay.
And that's, I mean, we'll get into that later, I guess. But like overall, like the videos are dumb. For this album, the videos are dumb. Even though some of the videos try and do something cool, like the one where like the girl's stealing something from that guy and then giving it to another person to race off on the motorcycle to expose secrets. Like the way she steals it. Like, why does she have to use sex to steal secrets? Why can't she use like her intelligence or anything else? Like, why does it have to fucking
Maybe that's
be sex?
real life. Maybe that's why.
That's irritating. That's fucking annoying.
Maybe it's real life.
But for a progressive thinking album like this is, and the way that it wants you to
Or maybe
believe that
it's
it's
just
progressive thinking. That's annoying because there are several songs on here that are strictly about like government interference, about like racism in America, about toxic masculinity. Like I said, for a very progressive album that this is trying to pretend to be, to use like sex to steal something is just, it's low hanging fruit. And I think that's like almost Tom's fatal flaw. He's always going for the low hanging fruit when he could be better, when he could really, really try to do something better. And I think he always goes for the low hanging fruit.
In some cases, yeah. But I don't know. Lyrically on this entire record, I don't feel like he really goes too deep into anything. I think everything is pretty much like at face value or not face value, but more just like about relationships with people, but from more of their perspective or from both perspectives. Like I feel like there are a few songs where he talks about the perspective of not only himself, but also the person he's in a relationship with, whether it be a friend or a girlfriend or whatever, you know?
Yeah,
whatever.
I agree. I think overall, I think this is about being in relationships, whether it be with significant others or friends or family or whatever, and then the trials and tribulations with such people. But like I said, there are 3 specific songs that I are clearly, in the one of them, like, my God, it's like fucking night and day. Like lyrically, he's clearly calling things out. And so, like, I don't know. Like, the guy's been being made fun of for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And to put a record out like this, which could have been, like, it's really good. I feel like I'm shitting on it a lot, but I'm really not, because I think it's really, really good. I think the presentation of it's fantastic. I think the packaging is great. Like, at this point, I'm just like nitpicking. I think it could have just been done a little bit better. But like, who the fuck am I to criticize? Like, I don't know. It's still really fucking good. Yeah.
Overall, like, this is just, I think it's just a really fantastic record. And dude, I really don't have anything negative to say about it. I really don't. I really, really don't. Some cheesy moments, obviously, but that's Tom. I mean, when has he not been cheesy at times? I mean, look at Love Is Dangerous. He's cheesy as fuck.
But like, to be fair, he is kind of like low hanging fruit Tom, and if he sees an opportunity to get like a cheap thrill, he'll take it no matter what.
But what's wrong with that? Who cares?
There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine.
It's great. It's still fun.
But like my complaint with that is when you package things as such, or you package things more so like this one, it's like you got that thing in the mail. You know what I mean? Like, these are like, this is so unheard of. Like, I've not been alive to see any band do anything like this ever, and they pulled it off pretty well. But they didn't pull it off like legendary, but they pulled it off pretty well. Yeah, it was a great idea. Really cool idea. But like, to squander a good idea, and when I say squander, they didn't blow it. It's like B effort as far as like the release is concerned. All right. So let's get back into Kiss and Tell. This did have a video. The video it's the same girl. She was in like 3 of the music videos, I think it was. But this one is like, the video for this song is, she's like his girlfriend, but then she like they break up or they get mad, and then she ruins their music video set. It's kind of a dumb. It's actually a dumb video. Fucking dumb. This is the worst video that they had. And we talked about how dumb this was. Rebel Girl is pretty bad too. But. We talked about how dumb this was when we first saw it too. It's just stupid. It's not like bad dumb. It's just like, what the fuck is this, dude? You're way too old for this shit. This is Toy Page era dumb video of Blink. Come on, you better. But that doesn't take away from the song, because the song is the best song on the record. And oh my god, dude, the song is amazing. It's the second best song. You're right. Well, it's the best song. It is the best song. And so what do we have? I mean, what have we talked about musically? I don't even know. Well, he's Tom. When I say he, I mean Tom. He has come out and talked a lot about these songs, and he has said that this song is about balancing on the edge of a razor blade doing something you're not supposed to be doing, and then although you might die while doing it, still very much keeping your feeling alive.
Could he be any more ambiguous than that?
That's cool. Exactly. Like, come on, bro. And that's like most of his like descriptions about what he's writing on this album is.
And it's so annoying. It's so annoying because sometimes his lyrics, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I don't either.
Like, sometimes I'm kind of like stretching. Like for the lyrics on this one, I think it's like there are parts of the song where it's the perspective of him getting dumped by a girl. And then on other parts of the song, it sounds like it's from the perspective of her dumping him. But then I have no fucking clue. I just don't know.
Dude, all I wrote on this one was after I quoted Tom, I quoted myself and said like, oh.
I quoted myself.
I said, oh, like a forbidden love? And then ... Because I feel that's all I could get from this.
Yeah, I know. His lyrics are a little tough on this one.
There's a lot of that on this record.
Yeah, you're right.
And
it is a little rough.
That's fine.
Whatever. The songs themselves are really great, so it doesn't even matter at all.
That's why it's my 2B, because it's not quite perfect. It's a little bit flawed.
Oh, but it is, man. The song is just...
There's one song that's just a little bit better.
Okay, let's get into Time Bomb then.
Boom, baby. Time Bomb. Oh,
so what do you got?
Opening song. So first of all, the intro to this starts off super sick. This reminds me of standing in line for the Riddler at Six Flags. Like straight up 90s techno throwback. You know.
I know what you're talking about. The intro is straight up like a trippy electronic thing with like robot vocals.
The intro reminds me, not as aggressive, but the intro reminds me of something like Sandstorm. Like that shit from the 90s. Like that type of 90s techno. That's how like aggressive it is in its approach. I like the chords that are used in the back behind the vocals. They're a little melancholy, a little almost like minor chords or something. Like overall, it just reminds me of something that could have been off like Dogs or Neighborhood. Tone down the techno a little bit, and that's what this song could have been from.
Yeah,
and
I would agree with you.
already the first song, I'm thinking like, damn, dude, this would have been a good Blink song. But I don't think that sucks that it's an Angels song. It's more like, damn, this could have been a good Blink song, but I'm glad it's not. That type of thing.
Yeah, it's that good, and that chorus. Hey there, little sad girl. Like he has that way of. Like, I don't even know.
The only way I can think of it is just like some like hillbilly country thing.
I really want to hold ya. Oh my god,
dude, it's fucking fantastic.
I know, it's so incredibly catchy.
Your heart is like a time bomb. I'm telling you, man.
So I did notice with this when I was reading through all the lyrics on this record, I feel like as like individually, like every verse and chorus lyrically are really good, but when you read them, when you try to read them as a whole, that's when it kind of breaks down and it doesn't really make sense to me. But I feel like he does have a really good way of wording things and trying to try to make a point. Like he's good at making a point in a particular verse or whatever, but after that it's so hard to make the connection between the verses and the choruses.
You know what this album is like? You know what this album is like? This album is like in the early 2000s or mid 2000s when Travis Pastrana was building like a huge fucking dirt jump, and he was and Travis Pastrana was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do something fucking crazy. You guys never seen nothing before," and then like all this hype. And then it comes down to it, and Travis Pastrana drops down on the dirt, and he goes off, the lip of it, and he does like a double backflip, and like a double backflip on its own on a motorcycle, like that's fucking mind blowing.
Pretty wild, yeah.
But like, okay, I expected maybe a quadruple backflip, I guess. I don't know, maybe a double front flip, like you know what I mean? Like you expected.
Never satisfied.
Yeah, exactly. This album is like that, dude. Like this album is just. Okay, there's all this buildup, the packaging, the tapes beforehand, like some of the lyrics to this. There's all of this buildup, And when it's finally released, like I'm satisfied, but I'm not never satisfied. So there's just,
It's like
I don't know,
it's like
man.
you're trying to talk shit on this record, but you just can't do it.
I can't, but there is this feeling inside of me that is a little bit empty because of this, which is what Wooden Toe fills. There is nothing left in me when I listen to Wooden Toe in its entirety, even though I know that parts of Wooden Toe are damn near trash because they're just so dumb. But I don't feel this emptiness whatsoever inside of me when I listen to Wooden Toe the way I do about this record.
All right.
And that's like the best way I can describe it is expecting a triple backflip, but you only get a double. Like it's so minor and it's so unfair to the artist, right? It's so unfair, but it's just the way I feel.
Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. All right, let's play. Well, Time Bomb is my 3B, so that's good.
Watching me, that's good.
I don't know. I have no idea why I said it that way. I have no
That's
idea.
good because you're
That's
right
good.
on your rankings there, I guess.
I have no idea why I said
Fucking
it. It's so
guy.
dumb. So, here, I'm going to play a little bit of Time Bomb, and then we'll get into the lyrics and probably some more of the music. So here it is from the Angels and Airwaves. There you go. Time Bomb from Angels and Airwaves. The opening track. So do you have anything else musically on this, or what do you got lyrically? What do you think? What do you want to do?
No, I thought, I mean, like lyrically, I thought this was about seeing someone you care about who's like maybe self-destructive or on a path of sadness and wishing you could help more. But
Yeah, that's what I got. That's kind of what I got too. Like I don't even want to say it's like somebody he's in a relationship with. I feel like it's just somebody who's depressed and who's kind of having terrible thoughts, and kind of him saying to her, like, this heartbreak won't last forever, this depression won't last forever, there's so many other things to live for, and just kind of him being positive about everything. So that's what I got lyrically on it.
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's like one of the more straightforward songs on this record, lyrically at least.
There's a lot of them, but yeah, okay.
I don't know, man. Some of his lyrics on this
I'm
are
just
rough.
saying.
They're rough for me.
All right.
Do we have anything more on Time Bomb? What do you want to do?
No, I'm done. Dude, Time Bomb's banger. Time Bomb's good. My 2B was Kiss and Tell.
Okay. All right. So my 2B is Automatic.
Wow.
So Automatic, probably the most 80s, or it is the most 80s sounding song on this record. It has one of the coolest choruses. I think the subtle synth kind of soundscape thing just sounds so good, along with the Cure sounding guitar effects that they have on, and then just that acoustic guitar that's just kind of strumming along through the entire song. It just fills in all the little gaps, and it was just a nice touch. I loved it. And my favorite part of this song is in the pre-chorus where Tom says yeah, or he like sings yeah, but it should just be yeah, but he like spreads it out over like 3 or 4 syllables. So it almost like it sounds like he says yeah multiple times, but he just like really stretches those out. But I just loved it. It sounds so weird and off-putting, but just Tom has a way of delivering these weird ass fucking lines and ways of singing. I dig it. I love it.
Yeah, Automatic, I put it as an okay song, but I did parentheses it. I said almost a B. Like it was.
How many bangers do you have?
I have, I guess 7 bangers.
Fuck, man, you're wild.
No, 6.5 bangers. Yes. So this would be my 7th. This would be my banger, my last banger.
This is a half banger. This is a half banger then.
Yeah,
I have 6. Out of your mind, man.
I have 6 full bangers, and then this is my halfie.
Really, 6?
Yeah, that's a lot. Are you kidding me right now? You juggling my eyes right now?
Dude, I got fucking 10 bangers on this one.
Oh my god, get out of here!
Hey, man, that's the way she goes.
Dude,
I don't make the rules.
Crazy talk. That is crazy.
I don't make the
talk.
fucking rules. It's the
So
way she goes.
like Automatic. This one comes off losing my mind, and it does not waste 1 millisecond to jump back into that fucking electronic organ sound. Like my god.
What's wrong with that?
Holy fuck! There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like,
Well, you're acting like something's wrong with it.
there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, my God, like you guys didn't waste any fucking time. But that's fine. This is in the latter half of the
Well,
album.
it's not fine. You're not acting like it's fine.
It's that sound. Oof. That
See,
sound
you're
just
not acting like it's fine.
That sound just brings back a lot of negative memories because,
What?
oof, because loved that sound. Love Part
Love.
2 loved it even more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it even more. I like this one a lot at first, but I realized that it's just kind of fast, and the drums like, kind of do some of the beats and then utilize like the toms a lot, and it wasn't quite as amazing on subsequent listens, and that's why I demoted it to a not B. But I did write almost a B, and I also kept waiting for Tom to speed up his vocals and start saying like "fucking animals." Because I swear to God, dude, the entire time that's all I could think about was him saying that
Why,
specific line too. I don't know.
There's nothing on the song that sounds like that.
I don't know. That's all. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But the chorus is catchy. I mean, he's just saying automatic, but the chorus is catchy.
She's automatic.
Yeah,
He has that cool way of like that stuttering kind of thing he does.
Yeah, that's fine. Nothing
Dude,
wrong
you're
with that.
such a fucking hater. I don't understand you. You make no fucking sense.
I'm just saying. I calls him as I sees him. That's all I can
But
do.
you don't like that kind of like Cure-esque kind of or Cure sounding thing that they're doing on here? Because I'm not a huge Cure-man, but
Yeah, I was going to say, first of all, neither of us listen to The Cure in any
I know, but
capacity. And the only time that Blink has ever done anything with The Cure is to ruin a really, really, really good album. That is it.
what if you ruin it? That's still a good song. Use me.
Oh, God. I know. It's like an old... Dude, Robert sounds like an old man when he comes in after Tom's...
No way.
I know. That's what he sounds like. Fucking asshole.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Song's
so
good,
automatic.
man.
It's
All of it's so good.
it's a coming of age song, right? Lyrically, it's a coming of age song, but also like a sort of self-reflective look back on your own life and whether or not you do your mistakes differently. Like in Rebel Girl, he talks about kind of the same concept.
Yeah, I feel like this is like him saying, or him talking about like being young, not really having like a set path in life, not really knowing what you want to do, but you have all these big dreams, but you don't have the drive to actually go out and do it. So you're just kind of like stuck in this rut of monotony, and that's where like the title automatic comes in. Like everything is just become automatic in life. Like it's just there's nothing. You dream a lot, but there's nothing that you do to change your path or your outlook, I guess you could say, or what's going to be happening to you. That's kind of what I got with it.
Yeah.
But what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, what the fuck do you know?
What the fuck do I know?
It's your 2B.
It is my 2B, and I do really want to play it because it is, dude, it's such a fucking banger.
Okay.
So here's Automatic from Angels and Airwaves. All right, there's a little bit of Automatic from Angels and Airwaves. The second best song on the record.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's true.
It's fine.
And I don't know. I guess we can kind of talk about it right now, but the guy so pretty much the entire record is Tom and then the drummer Ilan. And I guess, well, I know his brother Aaron, Ilan's brother Aaron, also co-produced it and engineered this record. And I guess he had like a big influence on a lot of the like little songwriting parts, like a lot of the like the little subtle background vocals, like when in the chorus when the line "she's on automatic," the "she's on" is like the background vocals, and then Tom comes in and sings the automatic. I guess like a lot of those little subtle things were something that Aaron and Ilan had come up with to kind of like spruce up the songs a little bit. And I guess it's from what I was like reading and stuff, or hearing in various videos, was that like it was a big thing in the song Euphoria. Like a lot of the background vocals were something that Ilan and Aaron wanted to do to add more to the song and layer the song more and more. But then I'm kind of wondering, like, can they layer it to a fault?
Yeah, they can, and that's no. I was reading. I mean, I didn't go too in depth with that, But as far as Elon's brother, which I already forgot his name,
Aaron, even though I said it
Aaron.
like 4 times, but that's
I know you did say it like a lot of times. He's not in the band. He's just
No.
like a guy that like is helping out, and it's just. And this is the first band. This is the first album with the original dude back.
with David, yeah. But David,
Yeah,
like,
my God,
he's never really
David.
had anything to do with it.
No, he looks cool. He's got long arms and a lot of tattoos. He looks cool. He looks the part. He looks the part. He does.
He's a fucking tall guy too.
He's really long arms though.
Yeah, he does.
And
Have really, yeah. Now that I think about it,
And he doesn't play his guitar like Tim Armstrong would. He doesn't like utilize his long arms to where he plays them near his ankles. Like he plays it like a normal thing, like a normal waist level, and he's really long fucking arms.
but when you look at him play guitar with Boxcar Racer, he does play it really fucking low.
Does he?
Yeah, but it's crazy because like when he was in Boxcar Racer, he did not look the same. Like he was much heavier in weight, and then by the time Angels started, he had lost like all the weight and got really skinny.
Oh,
But-
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's super weird. He got super skinny once Angels started, but in Boxcar, if you look at the videos and stuff, like he was a heavier guy, but he plays guitar really fucking low. But anyway, whatever,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
interesting. Yeah. So whatever that's worth. I thought that adding a lot of these little nuances to the songs. At this point, you're in post and you're sitting there. You're like, oh, you know, what'd be cool. Like when we talk about, like, oh, it'd be cool if you just added like another little whoa here or like another little flick here, whatever it is. You're putting a final touch on a song to just like kind of assert your dominance over a song, to say that this song is really good, but to make it perfect is its cherry, which I don't think, especially this song is specifically, and in Euphoria too, because Euphoria is my 3B. I don't think these songs needed those cherries. I think these songs were damn good without a lot of these deeper nuance, like we've seen or we've heard from them in like Love and that saga of the horribleness.
But I will say I feel like it sounds okay. It sounds good on automatic, but Euphoria gets a little convoluted. Like there's a lot going on in that song, and then even especially after they like I don't remember who's talked about it, but whoever did, they were saying that there was a lot of extra stuff, a lot of extra layering on that song, and you could really hear it. But then also it's like, yeah, he is a co-producer, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Like if the producer comes up with something that will add to a song, that's fine. I mean, Jerry Finn did it. You know, Critter did it before he died.
Ruined fucking Enema.
Yeah, but look at Toy Pash. Look at fucking Untitled. Look at the
That's
Tiger
true.
Army record that Jerry Finn did. You know, it's just he did so many great things. So it's not necessarily a fault when the producer does get involved. So I don't know. I'm not opposed to a producer getting involved, unless it's John Feldman, because John Feldman, you know,
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
unless it was Feldy.
unless it was Feldy.
Yeah,
But
you're right. Like ultimately, it's up to the band as their final say to whether or not they're gonna put their foot down and say, no, we're not fucking releasing this, or if they think that it's a good idea.
yeah.
So no, you're right. Like it's taken in stride, I guess.
And I did read something interesting that I didn't know about until this week, about the recording of this record, was that what they would do, all 4 members, Matt, David, Tom, and Ilan, they would all record demos, and then whatever demos that they recorded or ideas that they recorded, they would send to, I assume it was Ilan, it might have been Aaron, but I'm pretty sure it's Ilan, and Ilan would put like the finishing touches on the song, because like I get, because the guy is like a fucking prodigy. The guy knows everything about music, and like he is very, very talented, super fucking talented. He could play anything. But
Aaron?
I guess like no, Ilan. The
Oh
drummer.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And I guess from what I was reading, it sounded like everybody would like come up with demos or parts of songs, and then they would send it to Ilan, and then Ilan would like do the finishing touches and say, "This is what we should do here. This is how we should do this," or whatever, you know. And then the song would essentially be like, maybe 80% complete, 90% complete, and then they go in and record it. So it was kind of a, I don't know. It seems like a little weird, kind of a weird way of making a record, but because it's like halfway between being collaborative and being, kind of a dictator in the band.
When I don't know, when you're a band that is kind of specializing in electronic sounds, you don't quite have that luxury of saying, no, producer, I want you to have less of a role. It's like, okay, clearly you're going to need a producer that knows how to do a lot of mixing and mastering and post-production stuff. That's the type of band that Angels and Airwaves are. And that's what separates this album from Wood and Toe, because this is like almost night and day different from Wood and Toe.
Oh yeah, there's nothing similar.
Whereas Wood and Toe is so vastly overproduced, but it's in such like a childish way, to where it's endearing, and the melodies are so there. And again, it's almost like ahead of its time in regards to like electronic pop music of the time. It was fucking mid 2000s, to where this is extremely polished. Same band, same kind of overproduction aspect to it, but this is more refined. And so you can't be a band that wants that over refinement in post, but then also say, no, I don't want that woe there, but I do want that woe there. So you do have to kind of trust your producer in that. In this aspect, it wasn't just Aaron, but also Alon. And if you look at like Alon's report card, all of the bands that he has played with, they're pretty fucking different. Like, he's played with a lot of very, very different bands, just like tempo, genre, just personality. The guy's played with a lot of fucking different bands. He has his own band, right? Like, he plays all the instruments.
The New Regime. Yeah, when I saw Angels at the House of Blues in 2019, his band opened for Angels. So he was the frontman of his own band, and he played guitar and sang. And honestly, he was a pretty good frontman. Like, he actually was cracking little jokes here and there, but you could tell he's heavily inspired by Jimmy Page. Like, he plays the Les Paul, he plays it a little bit lower, not as low as Jimmy Page does, but the way he moves is very Led Zeppelin-esque, and so you could tell he takes a lot of that from them. But it was a good show. I mean, they're a cool band. I'm just not super into them, but yeah, they're whatever. But then you go from that to Nine Inch Nails. He's the drummer for Nine Inch Nails. He's been in the band since Josh Freese left, essentially, like 10 years ago. So he's been like, I think he probably has to be like the longest running drummer for Nine Inch Nails ever. And he was technically, we talked about it on the pod, Elon is the youngest person to ever be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's like 30. He's our age. He's 34. Yeah,
we talked about that when we were like dissing the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because of how little he's actually done with Nine Inch Nails, but because of his longevity with touring and studio work with Nine Inch Nails, therefore he is now a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I will say though, like interviews I've heard with Alon, he seems like a really down to earth guy, very serious, but he knows his place. Like, I was listening to a podcast he did recently, and he was talking about Nine Inch Nails, and he's like, yeah, I know I wasn't there in the 90s. I know Trent Reznor was crazy back then, but I'm just the guy in the band now. Like, he knew his role in the band, and he knew not to think like he doesn't have that arrogance of like, I'm so great because I'm in Nine Inch Nails. Like, he knows that he wasn't there during the peak in the 90s, but he still contributed a lot, and he's played with the band for so long. He's a significant part of their history, but he doesn't he's just not arrogant about it, which is really nice. It's really nice to see.
I mean, the guy plays with like ton of different bands. He's playing on Frank Turner's new album that's coming out next year.
Oh, is he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's just a lot of, I don't know. He's everywhere. He's everywhere, and I think that's, I don't know. That's awesome.
You know what? I found out recently too. He actually took drum lessons from Travis Barker.
Oh,
back in like the early 2000s. Yeah.
That's annoying.
Isn't that weird? I had no idea.
That is very weird.
Yeah, because he was whatever. I don't even remember what podcast I was listening to, but he was talking about taking lessons from Travis and how strict, strict and like Travis was in his teaching. Like he said, like you have to learn the basics, the rudiments. Like this is the most important thing. He's like a lot of drum teachers don't do that, and he praised Travis like extensively about his teaching, which is pretty cool.
Well, it makes sense. Like we shit on Travis, but it's never about his drumming.
No, his drumming is just amazing.
Other than it's too good for the record, like Enema.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about his personality, and that's all we ever shit on Travis about is his personality. Extreme lack of person. Sadly, Travis was born without a personality.
Oh my god.
Fucking asshole. Yeah. Okay. So what
are we talking? We played Automatic. We talked about it. Fucking shit, man. That's what we do. We go on little tangents about random things about the records and just bullshit.
Sure.
So what do you got for your 3B?
Euphoria.
Okay, that's right. Let's get into that. What do you got?
Dude, first of all, another cool techno intro, and I call all electronic stuff techno. So coming off of Time Bomb, this is a fantastic techno intro. I like how heavy the guitars come in that riff pattern that's used.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that. Solid bass line. There's some phase effects here, but it's less goofy because it's more of an 80s era phase sound, and it's deliberate. So sometimes when they use like the phase and then a lot of the flange, it's overdone and it's silly because it doesn't match quite what they're going for. On this album, they use both of those effects. They use the phase and then the flange, which are different things, but like that stuff came out of the 80s. It didn't come out of the 80s. Like the phase was in the 70s and Van Halen and stuff.
Yeah,
but like the 80s, that phase effect in the 80s was very predominant in the music I've listened to in the 80s, and it's goofy because they're paying homage to that sound. They're not trying to be something different. The bass line is very heavy. The bass line is solid, so it's kind of backing up that riff pattern the guitar is using, as well as that phase effect that's going on. So all of these things are making for a good pop song, but then Tom's vocal delivery, it's a little weird. It's a little, especially in the chorus, it's a little weird. And like kind of what he's doing is not what I expected. And later on, he also does some really weird stuff vocally. He sounds a lot deeper than I think he's ever been able to sing. But this is one that he sounds a little bit weird.
He sings really high in this song, and especially in the chorus. His voice is super high in that chorus. And it doesn't sound bad. It's just you just haven't heard him sing that high, for so long, for 20 years,
Yeah, really.
So it sounds so weird, but it doesn't sound like Blink in 2000. It just sounds, I don't know. I can't even explain it. He just sings so high in that chorus.
It sounds like Tom doing something else. And like no matter what, because especially us, because we hold Blink in such high regard, it is impossible for us to listen to anything that Mark or Tom does without comparing it to Blink. True. That is, we take that into consideration when we talk about these things. And it's hard for us to think that Tom sings a certain way, whereas he's never sang like that in Blink before. But this is different music. And you're right, because he does sing a lot higher. But there's another song on here that he sings a lot lower. And I think that it's not good. It's not like great. It's not historic. It's just different. It's just different, and it's nice to see him still try. And
Are you talking about Losing My Mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
God, that song is so fucking weird, man. I love to hate that song so much. I love to hate that song. But yeah, like this album, dude, this album as a whole is just very, like, there's a lot of risks being taken, even though you don't think there are a lot of risks being taken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's what I really respect about this album.
It's such a diverse record. That was the biggest thing for me when I listened to this in its entirety, was how diverse it was and how every song was different from the other. That's so rare, especially for a band or a guy who's been around for fucking 30 years now. You know, he's been putting out
God, I
music
know.
consistently for 30 years. Oh, and then real quick, before we get back into Euphoria, somebody brought this up like on a podcast this week that I didn't even think of. Oh, because Tom was on Stryker's podcast, and Stryker brought up. He said, "How strange is it that you've recorded the same amount of records with Blink as you have with Angels and Airwaves, and that never crossed my mind."
That is weird.
He made six Blink He's made six Blink records and six Angels records. It doesn't
wow,
seem
that
like
is
that.
so fucking like when
Right?
you put it into that perspective, like you make his top 3 Blink records will probably be better than everything he'll ever do with Angels and Airwaves, and like that, dude, that like difference is night and day. That is so fucking bizarre,
Right? It blew my mind. I'd never thought about that. Never ever thought about that.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's so weird. I don't
Yeah.
like it. I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this is excluding Buddha, but
Well,
yeah, Cheshi
why would you exclude
through
Buddha? It's a record. It's their first record.
Cheshi through Neighborhoods. Yeah, 6 records. Fucking nuts. Fucking nuts.
Wow. Okay.
Bothers me, man. And it really bothered me when he put that into that perspective, but whatever. So back to Euphoria. Musically, this to me is like the closest Tom has ever gotten to Boxcar Racer. And just that it's that weird guitar riff. It's super heavy. It's almost that like post-hardcore that Boxcar was trying to go for at the time, which they kind of did here and there, but it's musically it's a bit darker in tone until you hear like the higher vocals and everything like that. But
Yeah.
that main riff is very, very Boxcar Racer, almost like Up All Night as well, because Up All Night had that kind of that heaviness to it. And essentially, I mean, Up All Night is really just a B-side from Untitled, because that's when he wrote that song, was during the Untitled sessions.
True.
But let's play a little bit of Euphoria, and then we'll get into the lyrics and whatever else. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, here it is, Euphoria from Angels and Airwaves. There you go. There's a little bit of Euphoria from Angels and Airwaves. So we were talking about how like this is kind of boxcar racer-esque, and kind of throwing it back to how that album was recorded and the sound of that record. Like there's so much more just openness to that record compared to like a song like this, like Euphoria, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the tone of the guitars. Well, I don't even want to say the tone. It's just like you can really differentiate between all the instruments. You know, everybody's doing their thing, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's just a way of recording that's so different than what it is now.
I feel like post-hardcore is when people really get into either like musical theory or just like random luck, is because in post-hardcore stuff, you hear a lot of just normal major chords mixed in with a lot of minor chords, but those minor chords are also like what I think is like augmented, what people call like an A minor, and then, you know, to the 7th, augmented 7th, or whatever it is, adding like the pinky up to one note to let that A minor ring out into something a little bit fucking weird, a little bit off color, a little bit almost off key, but you still get like the full effect of the A minor chord, but you're getting like a little bit, just that one note that's different.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what makes post-hardcore music like really, really cool, is those weird chords that are being used. Similar to like what Chris Carrabba was doing, to be fair. Chris Carrabba was doing with his like his open chordage that he was using. But like with Euphoria, there's still that mindset. There's still a lot of open chordage being used, but there's one or two strings that are being hit that are, and again, I'm not a music theory major, so whatever that is called, there's something
we know so little about music.
I know, Because you can get so fucking deep in this when really it's probably just like, oh, dude, if I put my pinky in this spot on this fret, on the 4th fret, it sounds fucking dope. That's probably what it really is.
Probably,
but
yeah.
when dissecting, it's a little bit deeper than that. And I think that's where we're at now, is when we're dissecting Euphoria. The reason why it's so cool is because it is very post-hardcore. It is very Boxcar Racer. But instead of hitting like the 3rd fret with your pinky and an A minor chord, you're hitting like the 4th fret. So you're turning it into like a post-hardcore punk song into a post-hardcore, maybe fucking, I don't know, emo song. Like you're changing just a little bit about it. And even that one note can change like everything.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like these fine tunings. And given that Tom DeLonge's been making music just almost as long as we've been alive, is reason to believe that these tiny little nuances are intentional, especially coming off of Wooden Toe. Like if you just take like Wooden Toe and this, like again, my God, they're so fucking
they're so
different.
Vastly different, yeah.
But they're the fucking same. They're the same, like in their approach, like what they wanted to achieve. They're the same, but it's just the way they happened. It's just so that they're just fucking night and day. It's just, I'm still blown away at this album. And Euphoria is my 3B. I don't know if I got my point across in that one at all.
No, I understand.
Don't care.
And kind of like when it comes throwing it back to like the songwriting too, the podcast that Alon, dude, what the fuck podcast? I think it was the Pure Pleasure podcast, which is actually a very good podcast. The guy who does that, he's super cool. He actually played in the Ataris for a while, but he had Alon on, and Alon was saying when he joined the band that he said Tom writes almost all of his music in a major key and uses a lot of major chords or whatever. But when Alon came along, Alon kind of like introduced him like, why don't we do this? Why don't we play stuff in a minor key instead of a major? And he said that's why everything after Alon came into the band changed so much, was because he was pushing Tom into playing songs in a different key, in a minor key rather than a major. And Alon said like it's great that he likes that because he made a career off of playing in major keys. But when I came along, he brought along like let's try something different. As kind of simple as it is, it changed the trajectory of this band and this record. Honestly, like I mean, I don't understand. Like I mean, I don't know a ton about like that kind of stuff, but like I don't know. It was an interesting perspective when he was kind of calling Tom out about that, but not like in a negative way. He was just saying this is how he made his career, so let's change it up. And that's probably why these songs sound so weird, so different compared to what Tom's always done.
I think specifically that like coincides with what Tom does. Tom has an innocence about writing his songs, whereas Mark also has an innocence about writing his songs. But Mark has been utilizing like the minor stuff for very, very long, and Mark does that really well. And Plus 44 is like all about the minor stuff, whereas Tom has been like a really staunch proponent of the major keys, and it's just different. It's just different. And for I don't know, for Wooden Toe to be so, because it kind of is like all in like major keys. There's not a whole lot of depth to it. And I fucking hate that I love Wooden Toe so much. I really do. I really, really do. And I really tried to find like faults in this week, and I found 100. I found 200 faults in Wooden Toe, but like overall, it's just too good. So like, given all of that, God, it's so annoying. Given all of that, like Tom did really stick to just writing songs and playing them on the acoustic guitar in nothing but like major chords, maybe like flats and sharps here and there, but mostly it was just like major chords. And this is the first time that he's incorporated a lot of different minors, and then maybe, like I said earlier, I don't know what they're called, but a lot of like augments and sevenths and fifths, a lot of things like that, and wrote like a really fucking good album.
Yeah,
this
album is.
He's grown since Wooden Toe. He grew into Love. 100%. He grew into I Empire. He grew into all of these things, it wasn't the direction that I wanted him to grow into, but he did grow. And finally come to this album. He has finally grown into the person that I really, and like, who the fuck am I? I don't know. But he's finally grown into the person that I really wanted him to grow into.
Yeah.
And I am just blown away by the guy that could make me be so happy with Carousel and then make me be so happy into anything off of Self-Entitled, to make me be so happy onto Wooden Toe, who can still make me be so happy onto Lifeforms.
It's pretty fucking wild.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking wild. I never expected I never expected to like this record as much as I did. Like, cause I mean, obviously I'm a Tomman. You and I are both Tomman.
Well,
but this really kind of, well, you are, but that's fine. but this record really kind of blew me away. It's just, like I said before, it's just so cool how different all these songs sound from one another, but yet they have this way of just flowing so well with one another. I don't know. It's just a really well crafted record through and through. But anyway, I mean, I guess we could kind of save that for the final thoughts, but back to Euphoria. Euphoria is also my 7B, by the way.
Oh, deal.
Yeah. So there's that.
Late. That's all right. All right.
So what do you got lyrically on this one?
We can just skip it entirely, and then if you hate it so much.
No, I like Euphoria a lot.
I thought this seemed to be about like being controlled or trapped by someone in position of authority, like on a macro level, maybe like a dig at toxic masculinity in society. Like, since they're tackling a lot of societal issues now at this point in their career.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole, I mean, even like the video and everything, like this whole thing of just, I don't know, being in a position of someone telling you what to do. I got the feeling of toxic masculinity, and they were pretty big on like on that aspect. And Tom was pretty vocal in other songs about current events and societal issues at that point.
True.
Because this was recorded like last year, so.
Well, yeah, no, I was going to bring that up too. So they started recording this in 2019, and when I saw them in the fall of 2019, they had already released Rebel Girl and Kiss and Tell, and they were planning on releasing it at the very beginning of 2020, but then COVID hit, and that kind of ruined that release date. So then they actually decided to go back into the studio and rework all of the songs again. And then that's pretty much all of what 2020 and a lot of 2021 was them changing up the rest of the record outside of Rebel Girl and Kiss and Tell. And that's why we have the record we have now. So I'm almost curious, like, what were the songs sounding like prior to them going back? Like, had they released this at the beginning of 2020, I wonder how different this would have sounded.
I honestly think that, like, it's probably similar. I just think that we're getting songs like Losing My Mind because of that. I think that the meat and potatoes were there. I just think that Losing My Mind is a byproduct of that, because Losing My Mind, that's almost a stinker. That's the closest this album's come to a stinker.
Because it's so good.
It's so dumb. Like, lyrically, it's so fucking stupid. Like, dude, come on, man. Like, we know you're better than this. Why dumb yourself down for this one song? And like, wedged in between No More Guns and Automatic, and No More Guns deals with kind of the same societal issues, but it's just presented differently. Like I mentioned earlier in like the Arlo Guthrie song, right? Like, it took 20 minutes for that folk song to get around to like a Vietnam War protest. Like, No More Guns, Normal Guns. Well, Normal Guns would make sense too. No More Guns kind of does the same thing in a very insanely pop sounding way.
Yeah.
I know. What are we talking? We're on Euphoria. Are we still on Euphoria?
Before that, because I did want to mention too, Matt Rubano, who used to be in Taking Back Sunday before he was like unrightfully fired from the band, like in a really fucked up way. He joined the band as a touring bass player in 2019 on that tour. And then he wasn't made an official member until like later in 2020, and I'm kind of curious like how much Matt influenced I guess for lack of a better term, like the rewrite of the record, because he's also like Ilan, like he knows musical theory. He's a well accomplished bass player and musician. So I'm kind of curious like how much input he actually had on the final say of this record. Which I don't know. I'm just curious about that because I've never really I never read anything about it. So
I think it's so cool to have a guy like Tom who is just so naturally talented at writing catchy songs off the cuff. And like, goddamn, it seems like Tom is he just has a natural knack at writing catchy songs.
Yeah.
But not like to diminish like his songwriting capabilities because it's fucking good. But they're all on the same plane. You know what I mean? They're all on the same plane. But then you get a guy like Ilan or Matt, like you said, who knows a lot about music, and it's like, hey, dude, just so you know, like you're really good at writing songs, but if you change this one thing, like it could open up an entirely new avenue for you. And I think that's what Tom needs constantly.
Yeah, he needs that push.
And I think he never got that from Wooden Toe after Wooden Toe until now.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah,
it just didn't seem like anything ever changed. It was just the same thing over and over and over, just in various degrees. Yeah, moving forward, what's your 3B?
Oh, my 3B. My 3B is Time Bomb. So we already talked about that one.
Ooh.
So then what's your 4B?
4B is No More Guns.
No More Guns. Let's do that.
I know.
I mean, honestly,
it's so dumb.
Honestly, I'm fine talking about No More Guns, and then my 4B. And I think we pretty much covered the entirety of this record.
Okay.
So let's get into No More Guns. This is my 6B, by the way.
God, dude, I hate that I like this song so much. I really do.
I know it's so annoying, but I fucking love it.
Oh, dude, this is like some Rick Ocasek sounding pop music. This is so fucking pop.
It sounds like Green Day.
Oh, it's so annoying. But it's like
this is through and through Green Day right here.
It's like Warning Green Day, but not even Warning Green Day. It's like the most pop of Warning Green Day.
Yeah, it's like Waiting. You know the song Waiting.
Oh God, I hate that I love that song too.
I know that song's so good though.
I know it's fantastic. Oh, it's so irritating, but it's embarrassing, and boy, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, no more guns,
vinyls,
dude. Big bombastic drum sounds with crazy poppy melody, crazy poppy instrumentation. It's just it's straightforward. Very little of their iconic Ava sound here, but
it's nothing.
It's
non-existent.
It's very cool and a brave move on their part, and I dig.
Tom has never, ever written anything like this. I wouldn't say he necessarily wrote the entire song, but you probably didn't. But he's never released a song that has sounded anything remotely like this. This is like straight up. Not just like Green Day, like Warning Green Day, but like old school punk. The chorus, the O's and all that kind of stuff. Like he's known for the O's a lot, but not this kind of O's. This is a different O that he uses on this song, and it's so like old school 70s punk.
Dude, I was thinking this is like straight The Cars sounding.
I can see that. Like now that you said the Rick Ocasek thing, that makes perfect sense. Makes perfect. I didn't even make that kind of like reference or connection, but I totally get it now.
It's like deliberately pop music, and it's he's not even trying to hide it in the Angels and Airwaves sounds. Like it's so obnoxiously in the front that like you can't help but love it. It makes me so mad that I love this song. It really does.
What? I will say there's one line in the lyrics that I hate so much, and it's drinking shots of ancient whiskey. I hate that line.
Why?
I cannot. I don't know why. I have no idea. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. First of all, I don't know what that even means. But it just sounds so cheesy.
It's like going to a party and someone's like, "Oh, dude, I got Johnny Walker fucking Pink." purple, maroon. I don't fucking know, dude. Johnny Walker's Johnny Walker. It tastes like shit whiskey to me. I don't know. And that's what that's about. It's about drinking shots with your boys, with your girls, with your homies of ancient whiskey.
But just him calling it ancient
Love
whiskey
it.
is
Love
so,
it.
Oh, I hate it.
That's not even like anywhere near being the worst line of the album. But yes, that is.
What's the worst line of the album?
It's something.
You don't even know.
No, I do know. It's anything from fucking
Rebel
losing
Girl?
my mind. No,
Oh.
losing my mind.
Oh my god. Okay, so should we play a little bit of No More Guns and then we'll get back into it?
Yeah, 21 Guns.
21 Guns. Here we go by Green Day. There we go. No More Guns from Angels and Airwaves. Probably the most unique and outlandish song that Angels and Tom has ever put out. So weird.
It is the most unique song that Angels and Airwaves ever put out, but it's
Even for Tom, this is pretty out there for there's no other song that sounds like this.
well, I mean, I don't know.
There's nothing. Come on, man.
They did that cover of like the Billy Idol song, fucking what's it called? Dancing with Myself.
Dance with
That
My-
was,
yeah, but that sounds exactly like the cover. Like that's a cover song. That's not.
yeah, but that was pretty. That was early in their career. That was pretty
That's a
similar
bad
to like the
example. Come
danceable. Well, yeah, that was a good. That's an '80s pop song.
Yeah, but that's a cover. It's not their song. That's not a fair
True.
comparison.
No, you're right, but they did it. He sang it.
True. No, yeah, they did do it, and he did sing it. Yeah, that's a great
Same.
cover. Though. I love that cover.
Sweat.
Might be better than
Sweat.
the original. It might
No,
be
it's
better
better.
than the original.
It's better than the original.
Because
I gotta
Billy
give you that.
Idol's not that great, but that's fine. That's true. Come on, fucking.
I will say that I saw Billy Idol live like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and yeah,
Oh,
it was.
I thought it was longer than that. This
maybe
was
like 8 years ago.
wasn't that like pre when like a long time ago?
Maybe it was like 8 to 10 years ago.
Regardless, it doesn't matter. Yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a long. No, you're right. It was pre current relationship long ago.
Yeah.
So that had to have been like 10 years ago.
Mm.
But he had to have been fucking a million years old already, and he slayed, dude. He killed. Like he is fit. I don't know if it's on drugs or if he just hits the gym a lot, but he is fit and he slays. He sings, he dances, he runs around the stage, he crowd interacts. I saw him at Pachanga. It was a casino in Southern California. He slayed. It was a fantastic show. I was incredibly surprised how good it was.
That surprises me too, honestly.
Yeah, no, I thought I was going to see him in a wheelchair, to be honest. Dude.
The most commercial punk guy you could ever fucking go see.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I love him.
But anyway, No More Guns. Back to this one. Lyrically, what do you have on this one?
Dude, it's just a criticism of gun violence and racism in America.
I with you. I with you. What the fuck is
I
wrong
with
me?
you.
I'm fucking stupid.
Fuck.
So what? No. So No More Guns. This is me kind of, or this is him kind of saying, dude, what is wrong with me? Oh my god.
So you're writing these songs now. Tell me, what were you thinking when you wrote this song?
This is so bad. Oh my god, dude! This is what happens toward the end of the pod. It's fucking gets stupid. Well, it's always stupid.
It's early for being as late in the pot as it is.
Yeah. Okay, so lyrically, this is him kind of. Dude, oh my god!
Oh, I thought there was a pause and I thought there was a break in the connection. I was like, I had my
it
hand
was
on the
me, it was
mouse,
me.
ready to click stuff.
The lyrics are from the perspective of, say, like a police officer, and him criticizing like what they do and how they say they're out to protect the people, and I don't know. It's just it's a straight up criticism about police, and I was very surprised to see Tom DeLonge go after the police or like criticize the police. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy. Like he kind of like mocks them, saying like, you know, just them kind of going out and just being goofy, like they're just goofy idiots. And as punker as he is, or punk rock as he likes to say he is, like it just seems weird coming from him. Stupid.
It does. I mean, Tom DeLonge's no. I mean, he's probably had more run-ins with the police than most people in his life, especially in the early days of Blink and the skateboarding thing that he had going on in the 80s and 90s. I mean, he's had more run-ins than anybody probably. So it is weird, but it's also kind of nice to know that after so many years, he's still, and we know he's been questioning authority on a macro level, right? The government has always been like his main target. The government is hiding secrets. So on a more micro level, it is nice to see him still kind of fuck authority, as Jim Lindbergh and Fletcher would say in Pennywise.
But then with that being said, like, then he's like balls deep into like government, whatever, you know? So like, how much do you want to like believe him with what he's talking about?
Oh, damn. Are you questioning the gospel of Tom DeLonge?
Well, I question everything, man.
Oh, damn, girl.
Tom or not, baby.
Because in Losing My Mind, your boy over here, and I quote, because I have this written down as the dumbest fucking line that he's ever said, because it's so stupid. He says, I said, this is quoting Tom DeLonge, I said, we're not alone. And the government knows it.
Oh, dude, I hate that line.
What are you doing?
I hate that line. It's so annoying.
Like, what a way to fucking erase, like, whatever. I mean, Tom DeLonge, it's been a uphill battle for this kid, especially in the alien realm. It has been an uphill battle. And then there's no better way to erase, like, all of the progress you've done by releasing a song with a line like that. Mm-hmm. It's so bad. It is so bad.
I know it goes against everything that you're trying to promote, because why should we believe you when you're in cahoots with the government?
Yeah, it doesn't
like
the burden of proof falls on you already. And so when you act like a child, it's so hard to get behind. Ugh. That's all right. I mean, I'll always be behind him, even when I pretend not to be behind him.
Me too.
I mean, you'll always be behind him, even when you're pretending to be behind him.
Hey, man, I buy his books. I think he puts out good books. I've read them.
Yeah, you probably buy his used socks and shit. I don't know what the fuck you buy.
I don't buy it. Come on, man. I don't go that far. I don't buy the socks.
I don't know about that.
They do have socks. They do have socks, but I do not buy the socks.
I don't doubt that they have used socks. What is your 4B?
Oh, my God. My 4B is Losing My Mind.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like,
wow.
We've talked about like most of the songs, and the two that I wanted to touch upon the most were Losing My Mind and No More Guns.
I
know.
What?
I know.
This song is.
It's crazy. I know.
This song is an okay song, like through and through. Like it is the most. This is the poster child for an okay song. I mean, it's got like a nice heavy bass sound. Like there's some like weird Billie Eilish sounding stuffs here. Some of like the smaller spoken word type things that are going on with like the electronic stuff in the back. It's fine, and it turns into a nice song with like a decent enough structure. But overall, I mean, there's not a lot of meat here.
To me, this is like the most Disney or animated Disney movie sounding song he's ever written. It's so weird. It's just so unusual. This and No More Guns are the weirdest songs he's ever written. The most unique songs for him that he's ever written. And it's just it's the staccato kind of verse that he's kind of going along with. But then that pre-chorus where he kind of, he doesn't belt out the pre-chorus, but just he kind of holds the notes. And then that awesome drum fill into the chorus, or just like, not even awesome, just like simple drum fill into the chorus. It's so catchy. It's such a fucking catchy song. Like, I didn't want to like it at first. I did not want to like this. But then I found myself listening to it over and over again. And then when I got the vinyl, I put it on for the first time, and Tammy was here, and we would listen to it together. And she's like, this is a really weird song, but I really like it. Like, and she even said too, I don't want to like this. But then she was hooked. it's so fucking catchy, and it makes no sense.
It's almost
so
like
amateur, not amateur, but just childish.
It's almost like the song that undercuts his entire existence outside of Blink. Like the most is the one that you like, because this song like really, I don't know, man, this song like really undercuts like his respectability in the alien world and the UFO world, or whatever Demi Lovato wants to call them, UFOs.
Oh,
It really like undercuts.
Call them aliens or something.
Fuck her, dude. Whatever. It really undercuts like his perspective on what we want, on what he thinks we should be listening to. Dude, like, oh my God, it's a good song, and that's why it's not a stinker. But it's bad. It's bad in that it really undercuts like his perspective and his point that he's trying to get across.
Well, maybe lyrically, yeah, but
yeah. First, no, I'm speaking 100% from the lyrics.
Oh,
yes.
you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Lyrically, I agree with you, but musically, not at all. But also in the lyrically in the last chorus, the line "the voice in my head is now a fatal house fire." He purposely said "yed" instead of "head," just as a throwback to Blink.
Did he really?
Yeah, he said that he was on the Pure Pleasure podcast a couple weeks ago, and he brought it up on the podcast. He said that was because the guy on the pod asked him, like, do you ever like find yourself listening or like hearing your songs? And he brings up like all the small things, and he's like, I can't believe that song is popular. I sounded like a 5-year-old. And then he said, yeah, and there's even a song on the new Angels and Airwaves record, "Losing My Mind." At the end, I purposely say "yed" as a throwback to "I Miss You." And I thought that was really
so
cool.
good.
Yeah, he purposely said "yed" instead of "head." And then I never noticed it because I had heard the song a shit ton of times prior, and I never really noticed it. And then I went back and listened, and sure as shit, he says "yed."
Damn, look at him with the fucking sense of humor decades later.
I know. I liked it. So, but yeah, that I still think it's a solid song, and it's just so weird. So I'm gonna play a little bit of "Losing My Mind," and then who knows, might get into another song. We might end it. I don't know. So here's "Losing My Mind" from the Angels and Airwaves. There you go, "Losing My Mind" from Angels and Airwaves. One of the weirdest songs on this record. I love the song though. I can't help it. What do you think of the video?
Which video was this one?
This is the one in Vegas where Tom dresses up like in the tracksuit.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It wasn't. It was different because it wasn't like overtly like sexual at first.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was fine.
I guess the guy who was in the video, his name is Rampage. I guess he's some big TikTok star. Never heard of him, and honestly, I didn't bother looking him up. But so Tom was dressed up like in this Adidas tracksuit, like Jonathan Davis, full Jonathan Davis there, even with the long hair and everything.
A cool beanie.
And yeah, and apparently the character that he's playing in this video is the older brother of Boomer, who was the character he played in the first day video. So this is the older brother of Boomer.
That's silly.
Whatever. Well, of course it's silly. It's fucking dumb, stupid as shit. But it's a great
it
song.
It was a cool video. Like I don't know. Anytime you walking down the streets of Vegas, it's always going to be fun and nostalgic, pretty much for anybody living in America, because I feel like most young adults at some point go to Vegas with their boys or their girls or whatever and have a good night. So that's why it was cool. But I don't know.
And it's always weird to see Vegas so empty. Like, you only ever see Vegas like that in the like January or fucking December, and when there's just nobody there, So it was weird seeing them like walk around Vegas or dance around Vegas, I guess.
I thought it was weird to see. I thought it was weird to see Tom DeLonge like have fun and like dance,
there's
and
that
gyrate
too,
and be crazy because all of the other videos are always him starring him with some girl in her underwear, and it's just I don't know.
I love
gets
how
weird
much that's bothering you.
because it's weird at some point when he's like a fucking old ass adult. Like it's just weird at some point.
Yeah.
But he still has fun with the ugly ass TikToker. I don't know. It's cool.
You're right. And oh man, the second verse, I'm just reading through the lyrics again. They're just so bad. Like, there's idiots abroad and they're all fucking racist.
Oh yeah, just straight up.
Sounds so dumb.
I'll put us back at ease because we need more complacence.
Yeah. Bad lyrics, bad delivery. But it's a great. Come on, man, it's a great song. That pre-chorus too, like we've always talked about. Tom, or at least I have at least. I'm a fucking idiot. What's wrong with me?
At least I have at least, yes.
Yeah, I'm a fucking moron.
Yep.
But his pre-choruses are some of the best things he's ever written in any song. Like he's so good at that build up into the chorus, and this is one of those examples. The pre-chorus is so fucking good. It's the best part of the whole song. That's all I got on Losing My Mind. You got anything else?
I know that is it on the song that I think is okay.
Oh my God! Should we get it? What do you want to do next?
I mean, the big talking points I think are over. I'm looking through my notes to see if there's anything really, really big that I wanted to touch upon.
Oh, there's one other thing real quick. The song "Restless Souls," the melody in that chorus is identical to Everything's Magic and the song "Dry Your Eyes" off of Love Part 2, because "Dry Your Eyes" was a ripoff of Everything's Magic. So this song, "Restless Souls," is the ripoff of those two songs.
Interesting, because I wrote that I thought this was a blend of like some of the deeper parts of Neighborhoods and things they were doing after Wooden Toe.
Okay.
So like,
I guess that would make sense.
I'm not as specific as you were, but I think we're in the same ballpark here.
I think so too. I really think so too. And I'm not the only one, because if you go like on whatever Tom DeLonge, Blink, whatever, people have always said that "Dry Your Eyes" is like a blatant ripoff of Everything's Magic, and now people are starting to say the same thing about "Restless Souls." At least the chorus part. Part.
Tom.
But it's
all
still
his songs, so who cares?
It's such a fucking banger, though. "Restless Souls" is so good. That's my 5B. That's my 5B.
That's my 6B.
All right.
Yeah, it's good.
So then your least favorite song, just real quick, is "Losing My Mind"?
Yeah, "Losing My Mind" is for sure my least favorite song, but that's only because of the lyrics. I think if I had to pick like an overall least favorite song, and it's not even like a fault to the song in particular, it's just where it's placed, is "A Fire in a Nameless Town."
That's on that one.
I think that's my least favorite song, but I like a lot of things about this song. I think it's just like placement between "Rebel Girl" and "Kiss and Tell." Like, come on,
it's weird.
That's no man's land. You're not going to survive between those two songs. You're just not going to survive. And I like the idea, like lyrically, I think it's about knowing someone is leaving you, and kind of like as a last ditch effort, you let them know that you'll be waiting for them. Like, hey, I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. Just straight hopeless. And I like the name of the song, "A Fire in a Nameless Town," like fire being something important to life in general, and in a nameless town being so insignificant. I like the contrast, but I don't think the music follows that kind of insane contrast. There's good stuff to this, and it's not a stinker, but I think having such a good lyrical delivery, having a good lyrical melody, and then a lot of the stuff too later on reminds me of like Jimmy and Earl type choruses from back in the day, like how Jimmy and Earl would just do a very, very basic chorus on like Static or Clarity. I think there's a lot of that here. I just think this song was doomed to begin with, sandwiched in between two bangers.
Yeah, you really can't put it in between those two. I mean, it's my 9B. It's my 9B, and my 10B is "Rebel Girl," which I still think is a really good song.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still my 10B.
Is it because he says "Rebel Girl"? Like
no,
that?
I think it's more like it seems like a very copy and paste kind of song.
Come
like
my way, come.
Yeah,
my
and then
way.
like, do you want, like it's that kind of shit. And then there's even one point in the song leading out of the bridge where it sounds so unnatural. Like literally everything stops, but not for the right amount of time. So you get this like weird silence doesn't seem to be like timed properly. So it's a really disjointed kind of sounding song, and that's always really bothered me since the first time I heard it. But I still like it. I think it's very fucking catchy. Whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
Fire to a Nameless Town, I think is a really good song. I just think it falls victim to placement, and that's about it.
Agreed. It does throw back a little bit to Wooden Toe, like the way he kind of sings and draws out the notes and everything. But you're totally right. It's a slower song, and to be in between two super catchy songs, especially Kiss and Tell, which is not only catchy but fast. It's definitely weird placement. But whatever. So let's wrap it up. Let's give our final thoughts and then give our rating of the record. So we have a world famous 3-point rating system where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album we're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album but give it a shot, and 0 is a trash fire. So what do you got on Angels and Airwaves and their album Lifeforms? Go.
I was super happy that I waited, and I really always am at this point now that we're collecting vinyl head first. I was super happy that I waited to listen to it in its entirety until I got my vinyls in the mail. And in doing so, I think there's just a little more work involved with a listener as opposed to throwing on Spotify, where I can pick apart things so much easier than I can listening to it on the vinyl. Like I can't stop it and then rewind a part real quick or listen to the track over again. I got to go through the motions over and over and over. So there's a little more work involved on my end, which I think is good, because I don't think you should be able to digest music in its entirety on the first bite. Much like you can't digest food on the first bite, you got to chew it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That came out really stupid, but that was actually a really good anecdote that I just threw out there.
Yeah, that was good.
That was solid. So I am happy that I waited. I was worth the wait. The new Lifeforms was worth the wait, and I was not disappointed. Like even the songs that I thought were stupid lyrically, musically, the stuff that I think they're not bangers are still pretty fucking good. And like we literally just talked about A Fire in the Nameless Town. I think it's a killer song, and I really, really like it. So overall, I think I would probably give this. It's not a perfect album. We're not even close to being a perfect album, but
okay.
But I do 2.75.
Okay, that's pretty high. I'm very surprised.
I would do 2.75 because we love Blink. Blink's like our thing, and Blink damn
one
near
of the few things we could agree on.
Damn near do nothing wrong, and even like later Blink, I'm very forgiving of, and you are very not forgiving of.
What are you talking about? I'm very forgiving of California, not 9, because 9's kind of trash.
You are not forgiving of in any capacity. I am very forgiving of New Blink, and there are similarities to New Blink in this.
No.
But only in production, not really execution. Okay. But I don't know, man. Tom DeLonge, he did it. I wrote off Angels and Airwaves after like Love Part 1. And I thought these guys are a fucking joke. These guys are a joke of themselves, because Wooden Toe is not like, if there were other albums that came out at that time that sounded like Wooden Toe would be trash. It really would. But because they were the only band to release something that sounds like that, they're in uncharted territory. It's just good. It's really good. So the report card status, Angels and Airwaves have done a lot of good. They've done more bad in my eyes than good, but their good vastly outweighs the bad. And this is easy 2.75. I had a great time with this. And I'm super happy to get my new vinyl in the mail, my third iteration of this, because I keep selling them.
Worst. You're the fucking worst.
I keep fucking selling this. It's supposed to be here tomorrow.
Dude, you are the fucking worst. I
know. I didn't want to say what I've been doing to this thing, so go ahead. Yeah, that's what I got. 2.75.
2.75. All right, for me, this one actually really surpassed my expectations. I wasn't expecting a lot, because Dreamwalker I do enjoy, but ever since Alon joined the band, I just wasn't expecting a lot. I felt like it was like less Tom and more of outside influence, which I never really dug, unless it was Mark, of course. But yeah, I just was little expectation, and I like Rebel Girl, but Kiss and Tell was just so much better. And so I was wary about what was going to come up, and honestly, man, yeah, this just really kind of blew me away. It really did. There's so many different things going on, like we talked about with No More Guns, and just there's nothing wrong with it. Even the okay, I don't even want to say the okay songs.
Here we go.
But the okay of this album are so fucking good. So
go ahead, give it.
I'm not gonna go much more into this.
I can dance around.
We spent like an hour and a half.
Give it a perfect 3.
Because we spent like an hour and a half talking about it. But
here we go.
I mean, we all know I don't do this often.
Oh God, are you fucking kidding me? There's
we
no
all
way.
We all know I don't do this often, but I'm gonna have to give this album a perfect 3.
Oh my God,
3 out of 3.
You're such a fucking wiener.
Dude, I've listened to this record since it came out. Not just on vinyl. I probably listened to it like 4 or 5 times, but on Spotify, I've probably listened at least 10 times. Like I can't get enough of this. It's so fucking good. I don't know. It's excellent. This is an excellent record. It's a perfect record. 3 out of 3.
Excellent.
I don't know why are you such a hater? What's wrong with
I love this record.
thinking something is perfect?
It's just not perfect. I mean, that's
What it is. I just explained why, but that's fine. We just spent an hour and a half talking about why it's perfect. So it's just silly boy talk coming from you. But anyway, go to Apple Podcasts, go rate, review, and subscribe to us on there. Follow us on social media at Asinine Radio. Thank you all for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. And yeah, I have no idea what we're doing next. So that's cool. So that's it. That's all.
No, I thought we no.
Tom DeLonge.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
When you act like a bitch, you're a bitch.
Bitch is a bitch and a bitch is a bitch. When you're really hearing those noises, like someone's standing there twisting something, like they're playing Bop It. It's essentially what the intro to what the adventure is. Somebody's playing Bop It. Somebody's twisting. Somebody's bopping. Somebody's pulling. It's just
Really?
Yeah, this is a solid one.
Ah, dude, you are the fucking worst person I've ever spoken to. Is Love Part 1, the first one. This
Love.
is Love is dangerous.
Exactly what I was thinking. That's so good. So pathetic. Oh, you're such a loser. I hate everything about you and Tom DeLonge. It's all the worst. Everything is the worst.
But
oh, be your distraction. We don't.
Okay.
We don't start now. It just
No, I know. I'm just queuing it up.
Well, you started it, but that's fine.
I did because I wanted to cue it up, but that's fine.
Well, that's good.
You can keep talking. So here's here we go. Intro. Use me.
Oh God. I don't know. It's like an old dude. Robert sounds like an old man when he comes in after Tom's.
No way.
I know. That's what he sounds like. Fucking asshole.
I with you. I with you. What the fuck is
I
wrong
with
me?
you.
I'm fucking stupid.
Fuck.
So what? No. So No More Guns. This is me kind of, or this is him kind of saying, dude, what is wrong with me? Oh my God.
So you're writing these songs now. Tell me, what were you thinking when you wrote this song?
This is so bad.